On the second day, I thought our inn would be fully booked, but instead, our inn was completely empty and no tourists were passing. Where did the tourists go? Are you really all stuck on the highway? Wait a little longer. Will there be any bookings at 6 o'clock? Not a single room booked. Can you believe there are no tourists in Dali during National Day? It's almost 5 p.m. and there are still 80 rooms empty. Hey everyone, are you the same way? If I can't sell any rooms before 6 p.m., I'll start lowering my prices. This year's 8-day National Day holiday in mainland China saw congested highways and throngs of tourists at scenic spots, seemingly a bustling scene. But behind the surface, hoteliers, B&Bs, and travel agencies lamented. Despite the massive crowds, they weren't making any money and were even losing money. Many businesses expressed that revenue from this year's National Day holiday fell far short of expectations. Discounts and promotions became the norm, yet occupancy rates remain low. This isn't just an isolated incident, it's a common dilemma facing hotels. Hey fellow hoteliers, can you fall asleep? I can't sleep anyway. My boss just sent me a message saying just 4 rooms in the hotel are booked tonight. Where have all the people gone? Traffic jams and crowds are everywhere right now, including Changsha's Mayday Square, which is packed. What does that have to do with hotels? Videos circulating online show many tourists setting up tents on the roadside for the night. See, in the future, it might not be our peers that will outperform hotels, but these tents. Hotels raise their prices during holidays, but young people these days don't buy it anyway. They use tents to replace hotels and turn the searching for a scenic spot to staying in one. Did you hear? Many hotel and B&B owners were completely bewildered during the National Day holiday. You can see a huge crowd of people making a lot of noise at daytime. But at night, the rooms were waiting for you with raised prices. Why won't anyone book? The owners are puzzled. Where has everyone gone? They need to sleep. Later, they find out they are sleeping in tents. Most people have woken up. After all, those traveling during the National Day holiday are generally ordinary working-class people. The blogger said that this year's tourists took budget travel to a new level. For example, at Chaka Salt Lake in Shanghai, there were long lines to use the restroom. However, the average per capita spending was less than the price of a bottle of mineral water. The manager of one of the tourist attractions said, "This place has become a parking lot. Tourists arrive, take photos, and then quickly leave. There aren't even a few sausage skewers left in the trash can." Xi'an's Tang Dynasty City, which never sleeps, welcomed 74 million visitors last year and generated 74 million yuan in tourism revenue, with an average spending of 14 cents per person. The blogger laments that young people today are living with great clarity, and the sky of the capital is meeting the awakening of the leaks. This year's National Day holiday was a bit awkward, especially on the 30th. Highways across the country were jammed with traffic. Of the dozens of hotels I have, only 2 or 3 were fully booked. Only October 2nd was fully booked, not full on the 30th and 1st. Are your rooms full, guys? Anyway, I don't know where all these people are staying. Traffic jams all over the country, and I have no idea where all these people are going. Can you guess where they're going? The blogger said that hotels in Guangzhou, Foshan, Shenzhen, and Dongguan haven't raised their prices, but no one's coming to stay. Strangely, where have all the tourists gone? This year, many hotel owners were bewildered. They saw huge crowds during the day, but by night, many rooms were empty. Even after dropping the price by $20, they still couldn't fill up. The owners were puzzled. Where had all the people gone? This situation will only become more common. After all, those traveling during the National Day holiday are generally ordinary working-class people, not very wealthy. Hotels raise prices during holidays. Rooms that usually cost $20 to $30 skyrocket to $90 to $100 during the holidays. The problem is the service isn't great. Who wants to be ripped off like this? No one's money comes from the wind. The blogger mentioned that there are now many ways to find accommodation. For example, many friends travel by car, and sleeping in their car can save $100 a night. They can also sleep in a tent. As long as it doesn't rain, staying in a tent can be a good travel experience. Alternatively, staying at a bathhouse is another not bad option.
第一天大家的酒店满。
Is everyone's hotel fully booked on the first day of the October 1st holiday? I've reviewed data from various hotel groups and the results aren't good. Some hotels have experienced a high number of cancellations and the overall occupancy rate isn't ideal either, especially for those hotels with a large number of rooms reserved for the day, which had the lowest occupancy rates in the business district. This summer wasn't very good, and with the National Day and Mid-Autumn Festival combining for an extra long 8-day holiday, expectations were extremely high, with everyone hoping to recoup some losses during the holiday. The number of travelers did reach a new high, but overall spending declined, with a significant drop in the average price per guest. Some hotels have even adjusted their rates back to normal.
先买房再谈房价。
你们有没有感觉这个10月1的旅游好像有点遇冷了？
Do you feel like traveling on October 1st seems a bit cold? My experience as a B&B owner is that it's not as good as during the May Day holiday, Dragon Boat Festival, or the summer peak season. Not sure if it's just the season in Guiyang or just the economy. For example, many landlords with good properties won't let guests book rooms in advance. They'll set the price high and let guests book on the day. This way, when rooms are hard to find, they can sell them for a high price. During the May Day holiday, Dragon Boat Festival, and summer peak season, even a rundown place can fetch a high price. But this National Day holiday is completely different. Properties that were previously priced high are now facing fire sale prices. A $60 two-person apartment with a bathtub is now selling for $34. A 6-person house that cost $130 is now selling for $84.
900多6人居住的房子现在甩到了600。
The blogger said she doesn't set a particularly high price for a property, but in the upper middle range. During the 8-day holiday, rooms were booked for the first 4 days, but even with a price reduction, the remaining 4 days remained empty. With the economic downturn and reduced consumption, it's becoming a common practice in the tourism industry for tourists to save as much as possible.
一家4口11假期自驾沈阳的第一天。
A family of 4 went on a road trip in Shenyang during the October 1 holiday. How much did they spend on the first day? What did they do? How cheap can an EV trip really be? This holiday, we plan to drive from Hot to Shenyang, stopping at Dadong and Dalian along the way. The highways were free during this holiday, so for budget travelers like us, self-driving was a must. The total distance was 1,300 kilometers and the toll for our family of 5 was $30 or $7 per person. You can get to Shenyang for $14 round trip per person, a must-go with such a low price.
这么低的价格，必须出来转转。
Where did all the tourists go to Sanya during this year's October 1st holiday? Seems very few customers come every day. Sanya is really miserable this year, either windy and rainy and a lot of typhoons. I just walked around every night market in Sanya, almost no customers there. I don't know why tourists aren't coming to Sanya this year. Every year during the October 1st holiday peak, Sanya ranks among the top 3 tourist destinations. But this year, Sanya can't be in the top 20. I'd like to ask those of you who are still struggling in the catering industry in Sanya, including those of you who are opening new stores, are you also waiting for the closed customs at the end of the year for the dawn of hope?
我在等待那个黎明前的曙光。
10后高中生挑战国庆假期穷游郑州，到底要花多少钱？
A high school student born after 2010 National Day holiday budget travel to Zhengzhou. How much does it cost? First, the train ticket from Beijing to Zhengzhou is $13. It's now 6:58 a.m. and I've arrived in Zhengzhou. Go to breakfast, order a bowl of spicy soup, 2 pan-fried buns, and a vegetable dumpling. The spicy soup is really delicious and the portion is too generous to be finished. Now 7:53 a.m. and we're taking the bus to the Zhengzhou Museum. Surprisingly, they have a dedicated express bus lane and a fare is only $14. It's 8:39 now. I've already gotten off the bus and I'm walking to the Zhengzhou Museum.
而且票价只要1块钱。现在是8点39分，已经下公交车了，步行前往郑州博物馆。
国庆穷游睡帐篷说一说。
Sleeping in a tent during October 1st holiday, it's said that those traveling during National Day and May Day are all poor people, the working class, making just $600 a month. So it's no surprise they sleep anywhere. Eating bread, instant noodles, and self-heating hot pot, they simply seek to escape their current environment, which has been severely constraining them for a long time. Many people, due to the constant pressure of work, develop static electricity which makes them feel numb and they can't stand anything. This is why they need to go out and release the static electricity and stress. So, regardless of whether they sleep under a bridge or in a tent, as long as they leave the city, even if it means being stuck in traffic on the highway or in a scenic area, the goal is to escape the surrounding environment.
在景区堵着上不了厕所，尿车里边也没事儿啊，要的就是离开那个环境。
During the October 1st holiday, shopping malls in many parts of mainland China seemed unusually deserted.
今年的11景的政策怎么回事呀？这市场上面
What's going on in Jingdezhen this National Day? There's no one in the market. It's past 2 p.m. now, you see? And this is the Imperial Kiln Factory. Before, during the summer vacation, it was packed with people. There were lines everywhere. This intersection was completely crowded. It's really no exaggeration. And this holiday, is it because everyone is still on the high-speed train and hasn't gotten off yet?
没有下火车，还没有到站。
不对劲啊，完全乱了。今年的11从1号开始，哪哪都没人。
No, that's right, it's completely chaotic. Starting from October 1st this year, there was no one anywhere. Clothing markets, shopping malls, and even fewer brick-and-mortar stores. The holiday is over, and look at the strange weather. 37, 38 degrees Celsius these days, and today it's 36 degrees outside while I'm sitting in my car. Is there something wrong with the weather? According to merchants and brick-and-mortar stores in our group, the enthusiasm and desire to buy goods has plummeted since the 4th. Logically, everyone should be selling goods during this holiday and then restocking, as everyone has already stocked up a lot for the holiday. However, you know, business for the 1st to the 4th was bleak, so now everyone's at a loss. It's so hot, shall we stock up or not?
不知道怎么弄，天气又热，到底是进还是不进？
The blogger said that summer clothing is already a tough sell, and now autumn styles aren't selling either. With such hot weather, it's hard to know what to choose. The clothing industry is truly challenging.
今年生意是怎么做到全国？
How can it be so deserted on the streets nationwide this year? Boss, are there any people on your street? It's truly deserted here.
我们这是真的没人呐。
不是家人们，今天这是什么情况？出来逛商场竟然一个人都没有。
Fans, what's going on today? There's no one in the mall. Even though it's not Sunday, it shouldn't be nobody in sight. So empty, it's a little scary. Where am I? Why are there blast shields? This mall is huge. How can there be no one? Does anyone know what's going on? This escalator is empty. Where does everyone go? Do you think they just vanished and reappeared?
人都跑哪去了？你们说会不会这些人都突然消失了？
The blogger went upstairs to check again, but couldn't hear anyone talking, only the hum of machines. She wondered if she time traveled to 2027. She felt something was off about this mall and decided to leave immediately. During the October 1st holiday, some mainland hoteliers had hoped to capitalize on the opportunity, but unexpectedly, occupancy rates were far below expectations. One hotel near a famous scenic spot in Guangdong had an occupancy rate of only 30%. Owner Ah Chiang explained that Typhoon Matmo made landfall during the holiday, leading to rainy weather from October 1st to the Mid-Autumn Festival on October 6th, effectively ruining the entire prime travel period. A large number of bookings were cancelled. He said, "I was so anxious I couldn't sleep every day. I had to constantly adjust prices in the back end. 8 times a day becomes normal." The weather was only one factor. Many tourists don't plan to stay in hotels at all, preferring to save whenever possible. Ah Bing, who runs a B&B in Lijiang, Yunnan province, admitted, "I've taken inventory these past few days and I'm losing a ton of money." His B&B is in a good location and has 10 rooms. In previous years, pre-holiday prices would rise to over $210. But this year, with the market unfavorable, he's had to lower prices to survive, even dropping to as low as $100. Still, the place is deserted. He said, "There are too many B&Bs in Lijiang and competition is fierce." Occupancy rates were still above 70% on October 2nd and 3rd, but plummeted to below 30% on the 4th and 5th. He also invested over R1 million in interior design upgrades, anticipating a packed holiday season, but was bitterly disappointed. There are plenty of tourists on the streets, but most are driving and not staying in B&Bs. This wave of losses in 2025 is a huge loss. Aja runs a travel agency specializing in customized small group tours along the Qinghai-Gansu loop. The lack of activity during this year's October 1st holiday has him anxious that his hair is turning gray. He received almost no bookings the entire holiday. Tourists drove their own cars and didn't need us. Many people slept in their cars or set up tents near the parking lots of scenic spots, he said. That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.